This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars.
Airtel Rising Stars, one of the greatest tournaments in Africa. Finding the best teams, the best talent, and which players are good enough to train at the Manchester United Soccer Schools camp. If you're out there, we'll find you.
Now in its second year, the Airtel Rising Stars football tournament is set to light up the youth football scene with even more excitement than the previous edition.
Now what we'll see this year with Airtel Rising Stars Season 2, the big point of difference will be that the tournaments will lead up to national finals. But beyond that, there will then be a Pan-African tournament that will enable these young people to all come together from across the different countries within our business for a big Africa-wide tournament to see who will be the Airtel Rising Stars champion for Africa.
This year, we will also see the introduction of a new inter-country tournament in Nairobi, which will pit the top girls and boys teams from each participating nation against one another as they battle for the prestigious title of Airtel Rising Stars African Champion.
We really look forward to a fantastic season, and we're going to have a lot of fun on the field, a lot of fun off the field. There's great excitement being generated in all the different countries.
Definitely going to be an exciting opportunity for young people, many of whom we find have not necessarily even traveled outside of their country. So it gives them a chance to travel outside of the country, come and participate in an Africa-wide tournament and really win a much coveted championship and, trophy as the Africa champions of Airtel Rising Stars.
And I hope that this year again we will see some rising stars coming through, going off to the Manchester United clinics and learning the extra skills that will hopefully ultimately make them into the stars of the world when we see the next World Cup.
And as Airtel steps up efforts to contribute towards the long-term well-being of the communities in their areas of operation, an education program has also been introduced, with money donated from each goal scored during the Rising Stars competition. The cash goes towards education, ensuring that the youngsters are given as much training in the classroom as they are on the pitch.
We almost double the number of entries of teams across Africa. As we said right from the start, we mean business. This is something that we're going to invest in the long term. And having those senior football legends participating in the tournament, I think just adds another level of credibility.
As much as it's about finding Africa's newest rising football star, this is also about bringing people together. Wherever football is played, unity plays a big part of the game, just like it will with Airtel Rising Stars in Sierra Leone. In a country that is desperate to move forward from its difficult past, football can be the tool to strike a positive future.
Sierra Leone is a post-conflict country, and a lot of other tensions will have a lot of other distractions. So far, so good. Entertainment has been one of the yardstick we've been using, at least, to bring back happiness to the life of Sierra Leoneans, and a lot of concentration and diversion has been to European football. So it is very much difficult, at least, to match those European football back home. But it's a gradual process, and we are playing the game in all nook and cranny of the country, and people are beginning definitely to be attracted again to national football and local football. So for us, we are bringing the game down to the people, to the grassroots, and that's one of the greatest tool we can use, at least, to bring back football to the people of this country.
Every time there is any kind of sporting event in this country, you see youths from different backgrounds converging at different locations and supporting or going against each other in a non-violent but competitive framework. For us, that helps to build them up physically. It helps to facilitate social cohesion. It also helps to ensure that in spite of our tribal and political differences, we have a point at which we can all converge as a people. Over the years, football has been a central part of that sport. If you walk around the whole of the country, go to every village, you will see children actually practicing football in different forms. Some of them don't even have proper footballs. They use oranges to play, and they do makeshift goalposts and things like that to make sure that there's a semblance of activity that they can refer to as football and within which they can compete effectively.
It was here in Sierra Leone in 1991 that former Army Corporal Frode Sanko and his Revolutionary United Front began their march towards Freetown. In just a few months, this jewel of West Africa became a prison for those who lived here. The resource curse that are diamonds, an underlying catalyst of a violent and bloody civil war that lasted 11 years. 11 years that left more than 50,000 dead, hundreds of thousands more maimed, no exceptions, men, women, and children the victims. The world watched as this once spectacular country unraveled, its striking potential lost because of greed and desire. In the wake of more than a decade of death and destruction, over the years, a number of interventions and initiatives were tried and failed. But in May 2002, peace finally arrived. A country ravaged by destruction would have to begin rebuilding. Hope was first on the agenda.
In the aspect of reconciliation, it has brought a lot of trauma healing. It's happened in South Africa, as an example, after the apartheid, and Israel after the conflict. So far, it has brought a lot of healing, not only to the nation as a nationhood, but it also brought healing to the individual people, to the family, and to the football family. So for us, we see football as a tool, at least in bringing people together, and we've benefited so far from that. And the healing definitely is cutting across from national politics, from the local politics, and even the politicians are using football at least to preach peace and to preach reconciliation, and we've succeeded so far in that aspect.
Freetown today, a city that still bears the scars of one of the worst civil wars in history, is a city that is moving as much forward as it is content to remember. There is an optimism here, and optimism that is present in the noisy, colorful markets, the unending traffic jams. The vibrancy here is as unique as the people that create it, buzzing with activity from early morning until well after the sun sets. Freetown a name that represents so much. And it is here that the unifying power of football is used to do so much more than gauge skills and grow superstars.
So we believe that in order to promote social cohesion, which we believe is central to sustaining peace and preventing the renewal of conflicts in this country, football serves as a major rallying point. And when you go to the stadium, for example, to watch football, you see people from different backgrounds, different tribes. You know, we have over 16 tribes in this country. But when you go to the field, you don't just see one tribe supporting one team. It's across the board. We believe that is one key component.
There is a genuine love for football here in Sierra Leone. Areas split into two during the Civil War, reunited through the beautiful game. Football here crosses all boundaries: age, tribe, gender. It's a game that has created the space and the environment. Reconciliation under the guise of something as simple as an afternoon game of football. When we return to Airtel Football, we'll take a look at some of West Africa's biggest football stars, past, present, and future. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Danny Welbeck of Manchester United. Airtel Rising Stars is back. If you're out there, we will find you.
Hi, this is Michael Owen of Manchester United. Airtel Rising Stars is back. If you're out there, we'll find you.
His journey to club football's biggest stage was swift and fast, becoming the youngest player in history to appear in a UEFA Champions League game with RSC Anderlecht at just 16 years old, affectionately called Baba Yaro by the millions that he entertained each weekend, not just with his ability to score goals, but the truly African way in which he celebrated them.
When I was a little boy, I've always loved football, so it's really difficult for me now to say if I was not a football player or did not play football, what I would have turned out to be. I don't know, probably still wanted to be a football player.
He was a player who came through the youth system in Nigeria and found his way to football's biggest stage in Europe.
It's wonderful. You see the crowd, you see the fans, and it's amazing to see how the guys love the sports. They love football, they're passionate of it, and it's been incredible. The experience has been great. What more way to say thank you to Africans than to bring the real deal to Africa? It's a great thing. It's a great feeling.
Atmosphere here, very good. Good to meet Babayaro. Yeah, my real hero from Chelsea. Yeah, so it's good.
Especially standing next to two handsome men, Ruud and Babayaro. That felt incredible.
My favorite car, it's a Mercedes. Favorite color is black and white. Well, sometimes they say white is not a color, but I just think black and white are awesome. Favorite destination? I'll probably say Nigeria, because I am Nigerian. If it was on last day on earth, I would like to make peace with my God. Gold, because everybody talks about gold.
And as West Africa continues to churn out more and more world-class players, let's look back at a footballing legend who paved the way for players like Babayaro, while creating a legacy within his own family. It was Abedi Pele who redefined the African game in Europe. Pele's list of accolades is as long as it is colourful. The first African to win the World Player of the Year, the dizzying heights of the Champions League with French side Olympique Marseille. But for all the accolades and success at club level, Ghana's greatest ever missed out on the ultimate honour. Wearing his national colours at a World Cup is something that eluded Abedi Pele, but it is an honour that continues within his own bloodline. Meet Andre Ayew and his brother Jordan, key members of Olympique Marseille, keen to be immortalized the same way as their father. Following in the footsteps of a club legend is never easy, and both sons are aware of the legacy that they follow.
Oh, it's just a family, my dad and my mom, and I think that for all what your parents do for their children and all the sacrifices that they have done for us, we can never say thank you enough. It will never be enough to say thanks. And it's in little things like this that they maybe will feel that they're always in our mind and always in our heart, because they're my parents and I always love them.
For Andre, 2010 was his defining moment, not just as a footballer, but as an African. Pulling on the Black Star strip to represent his country at the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. A first for a member of this famous footballing family.
To have a little brother who has so much qualities and who has proved a lot in his club, and now he's proving in the national team. I'm very happy for him, and I think he's a player really to watch. He's going to become, for me, the best African striker that we have had in a long time, because he's big, he's tall, he has speed, and maybe people will think I'm talking very quick, but I know him very well, and I know him from the junior side and what he's doing now, and he needs confidence. He needs to continue working hard as he's doing it. I believe after the generation of Eto'o Drogba, he will be the next.
And something his younger sibling dreams of.
Like I said, it's a dream come true, and everybody who has a brother will dream to play with his brother or his brothers on the national team. But like I said, it's a dream come true, and I hope my big brother will come back to the national team, because I would like to be I would like to have that experience with my three brothers. But I'm very, very happy, and things are going on well, so I can only thank God.
Both Ayew brothers at the beginning of an incredible journey. 22-year-old Andre and 20-year-old Jordan hope that they will define who they are as both individuals and as part of one of Africa's most accomplished footballing families. The dream? To reach the dizzying heights of success as their father did in 1993. lifting the Champions League trophy for Olympique Marseille in a thrilling final against Milan. Both Ayew siblings are at an early part of their footballing journeys. Their futures here in Europe are as bright as the hot West African sun. And with 10 Champions League appearances already between them, Andre and Jordan Ayew are well on their way to creating their own legacy away and at home. And it is evident that the sky is the limit for these two rising African stars.
This program has been brought to you by Airtel, proud supporter of Africa's rising football stars.